Do 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 do. Give me your money now. Give me more, give me more, give me more. Ooh, good evening. And here is the news. No good news, so there is no news. 'Twas the night before Christmas, or the night before Christmas. Yes, 2 and a bit days to go. Well, 2 really. Well, maybe 1 3/4. Let's not get technical. The 4077 Boyt. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. The caster Boyt 4077. We have lots of clingers. There is clingers everywhere. There's a few DJs, captains, quite a few radars. Definitely hundreds of hot lip hula hands, let's be honest. Yes, what would be your character in 4077 Boyt? Well, we could have Stella. He could be the vicar, couldn't he? What do you think? No?
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, it's busy playing a game. I said in MASH you could have Stella play the vicar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would play Hot Lips Hula Hand? There'd be a fight over it, of course, at the bottom of YouTube. We'd all be vying for, I want to be Hot Lips. Major Burns. Man, there's a few down here. There's heaps of them. Stir-fried rice was okay.
Yeah, it was.
La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. 4077 Boyt. Incoming. Trolls. Wounded. Do. Actually, we had the guy doing the priming of the walls. He had must have been a CD or something, do you reckon?
No, it was radio.
Radio station. He was singing away. He's an old bloke. Sings really good though.
Yeah, he did, that was nice.
Fly me to the moon. He was singing all the old classics, Beatles, songs I'd not even heard of. But he was good. Lucy's happy singing and working. Can't beat that. Few classical songs he was playing today. So you reckon that was the same station as the other boys had, or different? Seemed different.
Different. No, it was different.
40s, 50s, 60s music.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. Do you ever on a hill? Mm-hmm. Actually, I quite like listening to the Andrews Sisters. They're quite good. I suppose the big band era in the 40s was probably akin to going and watching a big concert of, say, ACD. See, you know what I mean? Like, in comparison. Big bands, you know, the big bands.
Yeah.
Miller and all those, yeah. I would give you 6 ribbons to tie up your head. Do 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 Walking around, street late at night. Oh, my baby treating me right. Oh, come back again. Me, I'm just crazy about you. He's getting there about 5, he reckons, at 5:30.
Eh?
The guy down the outside wall's getting there at 5 or 5:30.
Yeah, but he won't be noisy. I presume he knows the code to the key. Oh, no, he won't need to come in
No,
here.
he doesn't need coming. Getting to that time and night again. Well, it might be too early for some people, or too late.
Yeah.
But we've been busy. Won't been on much. I'm sure someone's still waxing their vehicle. Week 5. It's inane. Yeah, when you tell me that you love me, yeah. And when I say I love you, oh. Winning?
No.
Oh well.
No, I got bed earlier tonight though. Let's go. Those last few presents. So, are we watching William unwrap his?
The what?
Are we watching William unwrap his?
Yeah, but that's early Christmas morning, isn't it?
Yeah, I said to him, not 6 o'clock, I ain't going over there then.
Well, you answered your own question then.
I will go watch him. I said, if he can't.
He won't wait,
Well,
and he shouldn't.
well, that's what I said to her, but she said she doesn't want to get up at 6 either. She reckons he'll wait. He did last year, actually.
Yeah, but you answered your own question. Are we going to go and watch him? Then you said, I'm not going over there early. He will open his presents early. And so he should.
I said that to her, but she wants us there.
Yeah, but don't make him wait for you. That's wrong.
I said that to her, and she said he can wait.
Well, that's
Apparently
nice.
he wants to wait. He wants us to be there.
So what time?
I said,
You're normally 10 o'clock-ish. I mean, that's way too late.
it's 9,
It's still late.
8 then. 8's fair enough. When we come back before we go to Jess's.
Okay. What time we got to be over there, Jess?
11.
In the morning. So it's lunch.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So I'm going to, I shouldn't be going to New Year's Eve, would you?
Probably not.
I doubt it. Having a belly full of baby probably stops that.
Oh, just because she feels tired. That's the only reason. Not having a New Year drink doesn't bother her. It's just,
She's not
she
drinking.
doesn't know, no. She doesn't know from one minute to the next when she's feeling sick.
Yeah. summer coming out yet, so we'll have some off days with the heat coming in. It seems to be brighter tonight.
Seems the same.
A couple of more of them tomorrow. If there's any left.
Oh yeah, if we can. If the sinker we can't. The shops are closed, but we can go after everyone goes. What bargains there are.
What?
We can go look for bargains.
Well, you've got any bargains on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
No?
Well, cheap Christmas stuff like they've got last year. I have to go to the cheap shop for that. Mind you, I think it'll be packed.
Could be.
Maybe not, hey? I mean, they'll be probably gone by one, like I say. If we,
By one, probably early.
You'll let it sleep. If we go down and say 4,
Yeah.
don't need to buy any more food though.
Sorry?
Don't need to buy any more food.
No, we're good for all of Christmas now. For sure.
I'm going to go wrap the rest of these presents.
Probably need to go top up. I'll be back.
Hey Buttercup, I was just about to go and wrap some more presents.
Have you got to wrap presents for?
Mark's one.
Hello, Buttercup. Dogs needed my attention. Well, fur babies come first. No, it's not too far away. It's only 10 minutes. She's asking we're going to, actually going to our son and daughter-in-law's place.
Yes.
It's a mix match this year because everyone, they've just moved, haven't they?
Yeah.
And we're doing what we're doing. Next Christmas will be different. But we'll have the gathering here of half the mob and then another gathering of the other half of the mob. Buttercup says she hasn't even started wrapping.
Oh.
Good luck.
Yeah. I had a fair bit to do. Only because I like to make it all individual. I don't like to put things together.
Well, tomorrow's the last chance that your gift should be here. I'll be annoyed if it's not.
It's
Do anything special for New Year? Not really.
No, we haven't done. Usually because we babysit.
Yeah. That's what happens when you get older.
We haven't sort of really. If no one needs us as a babysitter this year, maybe we'll go to the casino.
Maybe. Yeah, if we get a free night. It's usually some sort of fireworks display at the local casino. We rarely go to the casino. I don't like the pokies there, they're terrible. But we go there for a drink, maybe a show.
Just something. Well, I don't mind looking after the grandkids anyway. We're not big drinkers.
I bought these big Christmas sack. I'm not sure what that is.
Christmas.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's like a big big stocking. You just have a drawstring on top. There you go. There's your present. Christmas really is, gift-wise, for little kids.
Oh, our kids like it.
Yeah.
They like to have stuff.
I found for my eldest son, who'll be 40 very shortly, he doesn't mind a bit of scotch, but he found a gift box of 4 different type of scotch whiskey. And they're really cool. They're about, well, they're not small, not the small ones, they're medium size. And he'll like that. He'll have them for a couple of years before they're finished. He just says a little bit every now and then. Something they're going to enjoy though. I'm dropping off every now and then. I do apologise. I'm not always talking though. But it's good time catching up with the family, of course, and friends. Some of them like a drink. I don't. I hardly ever drink. We have a drink. The meal every. I've never been a big drinker. Finished prepping all the food for tomorrow. Not a lot. Got musselman curry, stir-fried rice, having pies, sausage rolls, etc. Oh, Danny G exploded onto the screen. Merry Christmas to all. I can't stay. I'm being held captive. I wanted to quickly say, pop in and tell you that I hope the New Year's continues to bring you peace, joy and happiness back at you. And you said it twice, so I take it as doubly important. Happens sometimes, people type in something, you get 2 lots of it. I wonder if Danny did. I'm sure you did, Buttercup. Did you ever go caroling, like knocking on people's door? We weren't after anything. There was no money change hands or anything like that. We used to do it as kids. I've forgotten most of the words of the carols now. That's pretty much what kids did. Silent night, holy night, all is well and all is bright. Come, young virgin, mother of child. Doesn't sound very good now, but when you've got about 20 kids singing, it actually was pretty cool. It was. Oh, council estate in Glasgow. Those kids come to the door again, Nancy. I want you to shoot them. Yeah, I can imagine. But it was pretty cool. I remember, like I say, about 15, 20 kids would go around. Sometimes you would get mull wine. Someone, they knew you were always coming each year, they'd have a little bit of mull wine, which I thought was pretty good. Spicy though. It looked like you weren't supposed to have it, so it was special. Roasting chestnuts. Yeah, that was cool. I like chestnuts. I think I was much better as a child, Buttercup. Actually, the guy had a good voice today. As I say, the guy doing the priming of the outside wall, he would have been about 60. He had a radio station on with all the old hits, and he was pretty good. Of course, even though it wasn't a carol, it's something we sang. You normally sang 3 songs of each person's door. That was the old method. And at the end of the night, one of my favourite songs I used to sing, because it's the first name of my eldest son, and both my grandfathers were called Daniel. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. You'd sing that better than me, Buttercup. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. Oh, he oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. I'm an old. My big Christmas shop is coming later today, minus a few important items. Not impressed. How will we survive without dessert or cheese? No, we got cheese. I normally do, and I'm not doing it this year, a pavlova, pretty traditional in Australia. I'm pretty sure my daughter-in-law will have one for Christmas Day. But yeah, cheese. We have cheese and crackers and nibblies like that. Homemade pickles I make, which I like doing actually. In fact, that's a good night, you know, when you get a couple of people around, maybe a bottle of wine or a couple of cold drinks, bring out a platter of meat, vegetables, cheese, crackers, yum. In Germany they call it a Faschbar. Oh, that sounds good. A raspberry pistachio meringue wreath.
Wow.
That's for dessert. She's ordered one. Whether she gets it or not. Where are you going? Tesco's? Aldi? Ah, the Flower of Scotland. Some great Scottish songs actually. Waitrose, okay. Well, that's right, 25% discount. Imagine when after Christmas all the bargains kick in, Buttercup, and you still get 25% off the specials. That's when you stock up. Do you make any soups this time of year? Or stews? I'm sure you do. I like pea and ham soup myself. Also bacon, leek, potato. That's a nice soup. The wife particularly likes pumpkin soup. Soup's good. You just keep going back and getting bowl after bowl and you don't get fat. Unless you have a loaf of bread with the soup. I know my grandmother used to make stews, and she'd always have something on the back burner going 24/7. And when the stew got a bit low, it became a soup. And you say, that tastes just like the stew we had, grandmother. And she says, aye, but it's different. That's because she just thinned it down and made it soup.
Yeah.
Put a bit of extra barley in there. I do distinctly remember, because my mum came from Manchester, they opened up a indoor swimming pool, which was like really big excitement for me. And a couple of my sisters used to go down there and have a swim. But when you come out, you used to go down the street on the way home, and there was a baker that made meat and potato pies. They had a few little spices and herbs in there, and potato and meat. I'll never forget it. They were absolutely delicious. A lot of memories are made up of flavours in your life. How to make a turkey fowl pastry pie with the leftovers. Brilliant idea. Leftovers can always be turned into a pasty or a pie.
Yep, or a curry.
Mm-hmm. There was no wastage when I was a kid. Never saw a turkey when I was a kid.
So, I don't know if we've asked Buttercup, is all the family coming to you, Buttercup, or are you going to your kids?
I don't know, I didn't ask her. Of course, you'll have the appointment with the Queen, Christmas morning. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am?
Cup of
Buttercup
tea.
here. Please take her to the drawing room, I'll be there in a moment. Here comes the corgis, Buttercup. Look out.
My husband and I appreciate you coming every year, Buttercup, but we've noticed portions of our silverware have gone missing. Well, I didn't do it, Your Majesty. Wasn't me.
Her son is due home any minute. My daughter is still at home. So 3 of us.
Oh, good.
It's good.
We'll be there in spirit.
Yep.
So set of plates for us. And your kids will say, hey, Mum's lost the plot, she's got 2 extra plates set
Yeah,
into the table.
Yeah, Candy Mother's gone a little bit crazy. If you're going to raise a glass to me, Buttercup, get a ladder first. You might have a wee dram, just to warm the cockles. Santa Claus is coming to town. I cannot eat as much as I used to. No, we don't either. We really eat 1 meal a day, generally. I might have a nibble at something, grapes, white chocolate, blueberries, a bit of fruit. Actually, we've got to get that melon, eat that tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Bit yum. Yeah, never been keen on like turkey because most people would just cook it to death and it's dry.
When I've done turkey, I just buy the turkey roll.
Mm.
That's the only part. It's easy, just whack it in the oven. It's
No,
already stuffed for you.
generally, these last few months we've been doing stuff, so we haven't generally having a piece of toast in the morning, but that's what we normally would have, isn't it?
Yeah.
A cup of tea and a piece of toast. Not always. And sometimes I'll eat my piece of toast at lunchtime. I just get round to it.
You just gotta get those couple. I'm not gonna do it.
And then we figure on when we're hungry. Like I had a little bit of stir-fried rice I made and potato salad. That was our dinner tonight. I'll leave that for her. You've got her email. You can sort that out. She's not here now. She's wrapping presents. She's funny. Like our son-in-law likes his barbecues, so she bought him a big barbecue pack. It's like a little holder, holds everything. But then she went and bought paper toweling and wrapped that. Then she bought something else and wrapped that. So he's getting about 6 presents, but they all fit into the actual dolly. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh wow, all these presents, but it's just the one present really. I've got her present coming. It's really annoying because I ordered it quite a while ago. And on the postage update, it might be here between the 23rd, which is today, and it's not here, and the 27th, so I'm not impressed. No, I'd rather you let her know, because sometimes she doesn't want people to know our address. I don't really care, but because it's a gift for her, I'd rather you just email her. I'm sure it'll be fine. I have no problem. Yeah, but I think where you live is a lovely place. I don't know if you've got a local butcher there. Do you buy your meat from a butcher or a supermarket? Oh no, I don't think it'll be a bomb. A lot of the old towns still have butchers in the UK, which is great. We've got a couple, but they're a dying breed. They just can't compete. Sad, you know, when I was a kid, you go down the shop, there'd be a greengrocer, there'd be a baker, there'd be a butcher, there'd be all these individual shops, but everyone knew everyone, everyone lived in the same area, and it was really good. But now you go to a sterile supermarket where everything's wrapped. And I remember getting most of the fruit we ever got was in brown paper bags. We used to have a bus come round Buttercup when I was a kid. I remember the big green bus come round. It had all sorts of goodies on board, from drinks to fresh fruit, vegetables, meat. And it would come round once a week. And you could ask for a couple of pounds of spuds, some carrots, but we generally grew most of that ourselves anyway. But it was good. That's the first time I ever saw a banana. I didn't touch it, didn't know what it was. I thought, what the hell is that? Banana? Yeah, well, I mean, as we get older, we don't have big pieces of meat, so you might as well buy quality. That's the big thing with me, is taste. Food must be flavourful. Just because it's cheap, it sometimes is nasty. But I do like buying shin beef, chuck steak, making stews, casseroles, yum. It's like if you were by yourself. If you bought one cooked chicken, well, you could get those little tin foil containers and make up some veg, whatever else you like in there, plus portions of chicken. But keep all the bones and then throw it into a pot. Add some water, salt and pepper, maybe a couple of spare carrot bits and potatoes, and all of a sudden one chicken gives you a week's food. I proved that to a kid who was desperate. He only had $10 to spend. He bought a chicken, told him to go down the fruit and veg shop. It was many years ago. I said, go down about 4:45, they close at 5. And by then they would have bagged up all the fruit and veg that was not going bad, but, didn't look its best. And he bought, for $1, he bought more veggies than he could imagine. Potatoes, onions, carrots, everything. So he roasted all these veggies, put them in containers, about 1/8 of a chicken in each container, made some gravy, all for under $10. One of my favourite soups is Dutch curry, which is a bit of rice in there as well. But there's like I say, there are so many ways to have really flavourful food, and it doesn't cost you a lot of money. You can live, you may use the word frugal, but what it means is that you buy good produce at a really good price. Like in some of the supermarkets here, just before closing, they might have 3 or 4 chickens, and they're normally $10 a chicken. Get them for $2 or $3. So you see a lot of the old pensioners just hanging around, and good on them. And then they start marking the meat down, and then the pensioners come in and pick up, a couple of packets of mincemeat for $3 each instead of 10. And that goes a long way to making their budget stretch. So I always think it's a good thing. I said it to a super, when I was night manager, I said, why don't we do like an end in the cooler section for meat where it's for pensioners? In other words, if you took it to the till, unless you could show your pension card, you can't buy it. And he said, that's a brilliant idea, because like you could make little packs of mincemeat up, just a big handful, do you know what I mean? And some chops that you were going to mark down, put them down at a really good price, and the pensioners can go there and pick up good quality food at a really good price. But it never took off because they said, it's going to take too much time, blah, blah, blah. But I'd love to see that. An end aisle in most supermarkets where it's just for pensioners over 65, so they can go there and get a small packet of mincemeat. Bundle of veggies, like a soup pack. The soup pack here is about 2 kilos of veg, the celery, parsnip, turnip, onion type thing. But they could mark it down to $1. Imagine a pensioner coming in and only spending about $10 and have enough food for the week. That's one way to support the ageing population, is to look after them. Because some of these poor buggers, they can't afford the high electricity prices, and the cost of living is very high. Oh yeah, and my kids, I used to call my eldest son the fridge. He was never out of it. Yeah, you'll notice a big difference. It's like now, I quite enjoy when we get family around for even just a weekend barbecue or something, because I can cook like I used to, like a big meal. Whereas it's very hard to cook just for 2, and what happens is, like if I make a stew up, I'll end up, we'll have, say, 1 meal tonight, maybe another one the next night, but then the other 4 meals I freeze in containers and just pull them out whenever I want them. Just take them out the freezer the night before, you got another meal. But it's very hard for me to cook a big batch of soup just for 2, so there's always like 8 meals. But all that stuff freezes well, so I don't mind. And like I say, it's easy some nights. I say, what do you want? She said, we'll have some of that stew tomorrow, so we'll take it out of the freezer and then we'll have it next day. No washing. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I might actually write again to the major chains here, because they do all sorts of ends now. Like they've got a big push at the moment for vegan food and vegetarian food, and they've got their special little section in the supermarkets, and I'm sure it's the same with you. Meat that's not meat and all that sort of thing. Why not have a day or just an end all the time. It'd be very simple if some smart bugger picks up 10 packs of meat and goes to the counter and the lady says, "Can I see your pension card?" I didn't realise they were for pensioners. Well, there's a big sign over there that says just for pensioners. You'd have a bit of that, but you'd stop it. Yeah, if I make a vegetable soup or whatever type of soup, I've still got 8 meals. But like on a really cold day, I don't mind going to the fridge and getting a couple of big scoops out, reheating it in the pot. Because I can eat soup all day during winter. It would show the big corporates being empathetic to pensioners, even if it was, like you say, Frugal Friday or whatever they wanted to call it. But literally, the sizes of meals. If you were going to go down the shop and you thought, "I just want a bit of mincemeat to make a bit of spaghetti bog or whatever," you only need a handful. Do you know what I mean, Buttercup? That's all you need. So why not have a little packet, for 50p? I mean, a lot of these pensioners are very loyal. They go to the same shop all the time. Either they get a system where they give the pensioners a loyalty card, and to get that card, they've got to show their pension card. When they go to the counter, they can purchase these things that are meant for pensioners. I think the smile on their face would be enormous. Like, they could deliberately, because at the end of the night, a lot of chickens that they cook roasted don't sell. But they could put them in the fridge, and in the morning on that Friday, Frugal Friday, put out the 4 or 5 chickens for, instead of $10, say for 4. And the pensioner can come in and buy it. And I know I can make one chicken stretch a long way. It'd be great. I'll actually do that. I'll write to the 2 major chains in Australia and ask them to implement a day or a system where pensioners can buy appropriate size packaging of food, like even just 2 chops instead of a pack of 10, and a special price for the pensioner. There's so many things, like they could even advertise in their catalogue each week, pensioner specials. A tin of coffee that's normally, say, £5 is $2, £2. Just simply show your pensioner card or whatever loyalty card that particular store will give. It go a long way to give him back a bit without losing a lot. It's like a lot of pensioners go in and pick up offcuts of lamb. And I cook with it too, but I know what they do with it. They'll chuck in a heap of veg, and it could be chopped up lamb shank bone or just bits and pieces, a bit of rib, whatever. And they make a really big soup or stew. And they make meals stretch. Because that was a word I heard a lot when I was a kid. My mum and my grandma would say, "We'll make this stretch into next week." Yes, in fact, they could simply show a loss on some of the products and still get a deduction with their tax. But it's one way, even unemployed, maybe they could be eligible for it as well. You could walk into a shop and buy a steak for £10, nice big steak, but someone only getting the dole couldn't afford that. I've often thought of doing a series of cooking videos based on like students, for easy food for them, and not just pot noodle, you know what I mean? Just simple stuff. Yeah, yep. Well, I can get a good 7 meals out of a chicken. It's like what my grandmother used to cook was mock fish, which is actually just grated potato tiny little bit of flour, bit of salt and pepper, and you shallow fry it. It comes out looking like a piece of fish, you know what I mean? But man, you can make a lot of food out of 3 or 4 potatoes. Oh, my kids still love the stews. I don't know what it is with Americans. They'll call it a stew, and it's like just a soup. It's all liquidy, and there is a difference for me. Stews need to be quite hearty, and a little bit of juice, of course, but Americans tend to cook like soups and call them stews or casseroles. We obviously have a different thought process. But I think it's time for me to go see what the wife has been getting up to. I have a feeling there'll be boxes everywhere. Good catch up with you, Buttercup. And if we don't catch you between now and Christmas, and make sure you enjoy your family, have a great time, and we will see you probably after Christmas. And I hope you're safe until we see you again. So good night.